Welcome. My name is Mark Corbeil. I'm going to be your instructor for this course, Calculus 1, Math 2413, Section 1101, 1102, online. So we're going to start by taking a look at the syllabus. At the top of the syllabus, which I've already emailed to you, but is available in D2L and in my Lone Star, gives you the name of the course, when it's happening. We start officially on August 29th. We finish December 18th. That's the final day of the final week of exams. On the syllabus, you also see my name, my email, which is important, and also a WebEx. Now, WebEx is available in case you need to contact me or ask me any questions, that sort of thing. That will be happening in WebEx. Talk about that later. So the course title is Math 2413 Calculus, Cal 1. It's a 4-semester hour course. The prerequisite is at least pre-calculus 2412, and currently the prerequisite for pre-calculus is also trigonometry. So you need a math trigonometry and the pre-calculus before you do this course. If you don't have those two, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage, and you should go and see an advisor about whether the course is still suitable for you. The modality of this course is online via D2L, and we'll also be using WebAssign for this course. In D2L, which has that link right here, you should be able to see the syllabus, so we'll take a look at that. And you'll also be able to see your grades, and the videos will also be linked in the D2L. The textbook is going to be Calculus 11th edition, Larson Edwards. This is available through Cengage Learning. That actually has a link. The easiest way to get the textbook is to go to www.webassign.net, click on Enter Class Key, create your course, use this class key, and then you can pick up the course. You must get into my course using this class key. If you use any others, you won't be able to see my assignments. So you need to go in there. As you get into the course, it is going to ask you to pay for the book, and the easiest way is just to buy your book directly through WebAssign through this access. Now, you don't need a hard copy book. There is one available. It's a pretty big, thick book. You can order that as well at the same time. It is extra, but it's not needed. The online books should be sufficient, and you'll see with the WebAssign and the videos, you should be adequately prepared. But you may want to get a hard book. You can always get a hard book through Cengage, or you can always buy one directly through Amazon. Do not buy the class key through Amazon. That's not going to work. Again, you want to do that directly through WebAssign. If you go to Amazon to look for this calculus book, I would suggest you try to get it secondhand and maybe even get a 10th edition instead of the 11th edition. The page numbering is almost identical, and it's going to cost you a whole lot less. You probably could get a hard copy of the 10th edition for very, very little money, somewhere in the 20s or 30s of dollars. There is also a solutions manual that is available. You can also get that. Make sure your solutions manual matches the edition of the book that you get if you go hard copy with that. But once again, you will need the electronic copy because that's where your assignments are. We'll talk about that in a second. So actually, if you look at both, I'm going to move this out of the way here. If you look at D2L, like I said, your D2L looks like this when you get into the course. It's going to look something like this. So you will see that you go to the course content. In the course content, it's going to be start here, and the start here is going to be this video. You'll be able to get these videos either directly on YouTube. I'll email them to you, the first one at least, but the rest of them are going to be listed here. So you hear a copy of the syllabus, and then limits graphically will be the next video, and I'll be populating this as we go on. You can also see stuff on WebAssign. Now, WebAssign is going to actually be your assignments. Once the course starts on August 29th, this will populate in WebAssign. If you've already signed in, or if you sign in before the 29th, you will not be able to see this. This will be blank. It's blank up until the first day of class. can't do very much about that. That's just the way it works. So you'll go to these assignments and you'll see you just click on the assignment and it will let you work on that. So let's see if I do the student view here. This is what you'll see. You'll see assignments, view my class insights, and you don't see anything right now because there's no assignments by date, but you will see that once you get into the program, you will see the assignments and they will look like this and they will populate. So that is the textbook and the WebAssign. Let's go back to the syllabus. So in the syllabus, the next part is calculators. Now you may use a calculator, TI-83 or 84 model graphing series. That may be helpful, especially when we're doing limits. But some other things, it's nice to have a picture of the graph and being able to do that. Your calculator is very helpful for that. You can use up to a TI-84. Anything beyond that, a computer algebra calculator is not permitted. Math 2413 is really just about differential integral calculus. You can read that out here. Limits, continuity, derivatives, trig, applications, curve sketching, optimization, integral, Riemann sums, fundamental theorem of calculus, area between two curves. The direct major outcomes are right here, 8.1 through 8.8. You can read all of that, but that's basically the material that we must cover in this course, and we will cover in this course. The general course outline is listed here. You can see it's listed more or less by weeks. The dates are when these materials are going to be given and available minimally. So the first assignment will be available August 29th, and that's going to be limits and graphically numerically. Now you may be able to start a little bit of that by viewing it in YouTube. You'll see that link later on. But basically we're going to cover our 16 weeks this way all the way till the final exam, which is on the 16th week. So you can see exactly what's going to go on and when the due dates are roughly when we're going to be making that available. The other thing that we're going to see here is our evaluation. This is really important. The grades are awarded as follows. This is just a typical thing at Lone Star College. A, 90 to 100, B, 80 to 89, etc. Right? D is the average between 60 and 69, and F is anything below that. The I grade is reserved for students unable to complete the last part of the course due to illness or other extenuating circumstances. I's are not given to a student who simply gets behind, who cannot get caught up. So keep that in mind. If you can't get caught up, that's earning an F. That is not an incomplete grade. So we follow that policy here at Lone Star College. The current grades should be available for student view and WebAssign. That's going to be your test grades and your assignment grades. Occasionally I will update that in D2L, but if you want your absolute current grades, especially for assignments, that will be in WebAssign. So we're kind of going back and forth in both programs. The video lectures will be linked in D2L. So you can look at D2L and take a look at the video lessons. It's listed under the chapter by section numbers, and it really is suggested that you watch the video before you do the homeworks, not afterwards. So you want to kind of look at the videos before you do the homeworks. Take a look at some of the examples in your textbook. That's also really recommended, and you can look at that in the e-textbook, and then you can go and try the homeworks on WebAssign. Now, when we do look for that in the homework, you can see that when you're in WebAssign, let's go back to your student view. In the student view in WebAssign, you'll be seeing something like this. You can actually see the textbook here, my ebook right here. It's purchased, so you can go and look at your ebook. And that's in a program called MindTap. And you can actually go to the limits on the first page. It's very easy to access your textbook. And you can actually read that and look at the notes. And that is going to be almost exactly word for word as your textbook. It even includes some extra stuff, occasional video and stuff like that. There are videos to help some study tools and stuff, but they are rather limited what's available online. I mean, there is stuff there. It's just a little limited, but there's some animations, there's some stuff here, and you can actually do questions and see the answers here in the textbook stuff, and you'll see what's going on, and it gives you explanations. So it's not a bad start, and also you can go here and work on some of the examples. So that's basically the textbook in WebAssign. So your homework is going to be in WebAssign. It's actually programmed, and you're going to pull that up. So an example of that would be out of student view, just to give you an example. Turn this off. So we can actually view the first homework, for example, here. It's going to look a bit like this. So you'll have a full page. It will give you the problem. So the first problem is kind of a limit, sketch the graph of a limit, and it gives you some choices, and you choose your answer. And this one already shows the answer is here because it's my example. But you can do that. You also have a read it if you need help. You can look at different things using that, and you'll be fine. Mine is a little weird because this is actually my assignment view, so it's actually looking at the scores. So your assignment is going to be one question after the other. You can see that and see how it's set up and go from one example. You even have a video here, for example. There's a little video to watch it.
Complete the table and use the result to estimate the limit.
So you have that available in your assignment. There's some little read its and some watches. The watch its kind of explain what's going on.
Create a table of values.
They're very brief. They're kind of to the point, so you can get some stuff going. If you really get stuck, you can use Contact My Instructor in WebAssign. You can do that while you're in here, and it'll send me an email and send me an example of what problem you're having. If it's a problem that we need to talk about, we can set up a time with WebEx, and I can help you out in WebEx. So that's the purpose of WebEx. But that is something we'll have to schedule. It's not going to be any time of the day. So that's the way it's going to work. You can start a homework anytime, but remember it must be due by the completed by the due dates posted in WebAssign. Now that is an important thing. So when you look at WebAssign, you are going to see a bunch of due dates. They're already here, but you'll be able to see. So the first one is due September 2nd, 22 at 11:59 p.m. These are relatively constant, so you'll see those. The first assignment is going to be due in the midweek or just in the midweek, and the second assignment each week is going to be due at the very end of the week. And there's going to be more to that, so you can see that the dates are different for most of the assignments as you go through. That's going to vary and change, so you have to keep an eye on those due dates and kind of make sure you see that. When you see the kind of assignments, let's go back to the schedule. The scheduled assignments are each week. Roughly, you'll see 2 assignments like this, and they'll be scheduled. I've only put up the first 3 weeks of assignments right now, but that'll be populating as I repopulate this course and reset it for the fall. So you can see the first 3 weeks there's already stuff up, and it's pretty well 1 or 2 sections a week. Usually there'll be a matching video for each section. Most of the time there will be, and that video usually will be a pretty short video. It won't be too long. It'll be just a video explaining the assignment or doing a couple of the problems, some of the clear things. You need to get a 70% on each homework to move forward. So you would do your first homework, you have to get a 70% on it to move to the second homework. And to get to the third homework, you have to have 70% on the second one. So you have to consistently get 70% on each homework as you move through the program. That's not all that hard. You can go back and redo questions, do questions over. There's hints and stuff like that. It shouldn't be too much of a task to do that. If you don't like your grade, you can go back and keep working on it, improving your grade over and over again, and get even beyond that. So that's up to you, but you have to do that work until the clock runs out, and it will run out at the due date at, whoops, it should be midnight, not lunchtime. Gonna have to change that. At midnight, pretty well, at the due date that's listed. There are 4 tests that are going to happen during the semester. Again, if you look backwards here, you can see the general course outline. You see there's one that's September 19th, there's one October 17th, there's one November 7th, and there is one on the second to last week, December 11th. So there's 4 tests in the program. Those 4 tests will count for 55% of the mark, and I'm going to count the best 3 out of 4. So it's going to be the mean average of the best 3 out of 4 tests as 55%. So that means that you can do badly on one of the tests and still do well in the course, but only one. So I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't miss the due date, but it does give you a chance. And let's see. You can use a graphing calculator for the test. And remember, we're using the honor system, so I'm expecting you to do the test completed by yourself alone without using references or assistance. So you got to do that. Make sure you plan enough time to complete the test, and make sure you complete the test before all the due dates run out. That's a very important thing. And again, it's not at lunchtime, it's at midnight. When you're ready for the test, the first test especially, you're going to have to contact me by email. That is for me to identify you as a student. Occasionally, I will ask you to come into WebEx and show me your ID before you take the test. We're just checking on students and making sure that the right student is taking the right test, sort of thing. I reserve the right to ask you to take the test in WebEx with me watching. If I assume or find that there's any kind of problems or problems with academic integrity, I can go back and ask you to take the test in WebEx. You would have to contact me, we'd have to make a time, and then you'd have to take it live in WebEx with me. So, you know, follow the honor rules, and that won't be a problem. Usually I will email a password for you for the online test back to you, and you'll use the password to complete the test online. As an alternative, you may get an alternative test for a specific test, in which case I will be emailing you a PDF of the test that you're going to do at home. So that's going to be kind of a different approach. The test will be kind of in a different format. That test will be a write-on test. So you're going to print out the test, you're going to work and write on that test printout, and then you're going to scan the printout and send it back to me in PDF. Don't send me pictures. I can't correct pictures. It's got to be in a PDF. Reply to my email with the PDF of the completed test attached to the message. So I need to have that PDF back. That's not going to be all tests, but at least a couple of our assessments this semester will be that. So it's probably, I don't know if it'll be the first test, the third test, I don't know. That will be random. Everybody will do at least one of these PDF tests. So you can get that practice of doing a test on paper. The final exam is offered in person on December 13th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'll be giving you a classroom to this. It's likely to be room 117, but I haven't finalized that yet at the campus, the North Harris campus. So that exam is offered in person, okay? And you need to, for that 25% exam, you need to get at least a 50% on the written final to get an A, B, or C in the course. Otherwise, your maximum grade will be a D or an F. There's no makeup exam, there's no rewrites, nothing. It's just going to be on that date. The location is going to be room 117 in the North Harris campus. The address is here. I'll remind you that when the test starts coming up. If you absolutely need to take the test online, that is an option, but you do have to contact me to arrange for the online proctored test session. The online final exam is proctored. It's going to be proctored in WebEx, and you're going to need to share your full desktop, audio, video enabled at your location for the duration of the assessment. And that includes doing a 360. So you may have to lift up your laptop. If you have a camera, you'll have to spin the camera around the room. You'll have to give me a total 360 of the room. I may require a lockdown browser as well. It depends on how I set up the test. This test may be online or may be like the other test. It's likely to be a PDF kind of test. So I'm going to be sending you a final exam copy and email it to you at 4 p.m. You print out the test and you write it between 4 and 8 p.m. And you need to send me the completed test by scanned PDF before 8 p.m. Again, don't send photos. So that's basically how we do it. Just to go back, 20% homework, 55% test, 25% final exam. And I do give you the option and encourage you to come in and do the final exam in person. That gives you the full experience of the class. So that's really highly recommended. Otherwise, the final exam will be proctored via WebEx. That's not an option. The proctoring has to happen either in person or online. Some syllabus policies, if you want, you can choose this link and you can see that. Those are FERPA. FERPA is Student Private Records Confidentiality. Title IX, Sexual Assault Prevention. That's also listed there, the things that we do to prevent sexual assault on campus. Academic integrity, academic appeals is also there. Our ADA statement, if you have any ADA needs that are beyond what we need or what I set up for you in the online environment, you can get to those there. Most of our tests are not timed. Final exam, you have 4 hours. So it's a pretty open door for all of that. So most of the ADA is listed. If you have special needs for visual or other things, we can have a conversation about that. Emergency procedures are also there. Concealed carry, COVID-19 prevention recommendations. Those are still around, so you can still, whatever we have updated about all of those things are there. We also have a North Harris Math Syllabus Information and Resources page. You can go there. That's the contact the science dean and math chair, course resources, tutoring videos, full-time faculty, adjunct faculty. So all the links there. You'll see my link now as adjunct faculty, or it was there as full-time faculty. I'm not sure if that's changed yet because I've gone from full-time to part-time. So you'll see probably my name as adjunct faculty. Policy links, other things will be there below, and policy links, and that's also on these links. 6-drop rule, everything else. So those are there. You can get those by following those links. These are the 2 links and information for the dean and for the chair of math. So you can find those also on the link for the website. So that's basically the syllabus. That's basically how the course is going to run. If you have any questions, email me. We will be starting August 19th. D2L only starts on August 19th, so you'll only have access to it on August 19th. Before then, you won't see anything. And you can access and get your access to WebAssign before that date, but your access will be limited. The assignments do not start until August 19th, so you can't start them until you can see the videos. This is probably the only video you'll see before that date, because this one I'm sending its link through email, and it's also linked in YouTube. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great semester.